Going on? Crooked Barbershop Owners, Part 2. Let's get into it. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Alright? Now let's get into it. So, there was another shop I was working. This was back in the days. This is probably like 2000. I'm not even going to give the date because, another thing, a lot of these barbershop owners, we're still cool. You know what I mean? It's just that you can't do business with them. So, never leave on a bad note. Never burn bridges. You never know when you got to cross them again. It's business, not personal, right? So, I started working at this one spot in the neighborhood, but not smack dead in the middle of the neighborhood where I where I grew up at, right? So I started working there. A lot of barbers in there. It was cool. Spot was official. Vibe was good. At that time, I had a lot of clients, but I had took a break from barbering. But it wasn't nothing to get my clients back because I used to get on Facebook and I used to just ping my location. This was before Instagram and all that stuff. I used to just ping my location. Phone start ringing. You in the shop? You in the shop? Bang, 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 coming through. So I built up a clientele like really fast. Got my clientele back really, really fast, right? So old boy is looking like, damn, he got it clicking. See, the last story time I was talking about a percentage type of situation. This was a rent in a chair situation. So it's a totally different situation. Check it. So I forgot what he started me with the rent. It was probably like 125 a week or 150, something like that. All right. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I build it up, but I build it up real fast. So in about like 2-3 months, I was like blazing, really rolling it in, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna raise your rent. I forgot the exact prices, but raised me to like, all right, 150. Within like a month's time, started me like 125, raised me to like 150, right? So it's 25, 25, 25, right? Raised me 150. I'm like, that's cool. Because I can handle that, right? After that, next 2-3 months, raised me up another 25. So I'm like, damn, as I'm accumulating more clientele and I'm getting more attention, he's pocket watching. He's watching this, like, you know what I mean? But I'm not really paying attention that he's watching. I'm like, all right, cool. Got it coming in. I'm getting it clicking. You want a little more bread? Whatever. Break bread. Everybody eat, right? I ain't greedy. Then I'm like, next couple of months, you raise me up another 25. Wait a minute, Playboy. What we doing here? So you don't raise my rent like 3 times in the year I ain't got like 1 year. What's going on here? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Yo, all right, whatever. You see, the thing is, they'll watch your pockets and say, okay, he's making money, so I'm going to dig in more deeper in his pockets. But the thing is, the objective is to get your clientele up, start making more money to where you're paying the rent comfortably for the chair and you're seeing some profit because most likely you got bills, right? When you're little kids, you got bills and shit like that. So you want to see profit. So that's what you're building on. You want to be able to knock that rent for the chair out and still be able to make money. So I'm like, yo, dude, keep raising. He's like, oh no, like that's it, like that's good. So I keep rolling. I keep running it up. Only, I'm getting more clients. I'm super busy. Come in, I'm booked. 11 a.m. to 11 at night. You know what I'm saying? Got the key. Work 24/7. You want to. So then now I'm up to like $200 from 125 to 200 in like 1 year. So I'm like, dude, why you keep slapping these extra 25s on me like that? He said, oh yeah, but that's around that time the haircuts was about like $25. You know what I'm saying? Between $25, $30, something like that. He telling me like, yo, but like it's only one haircut. And I'm like, nah, that's an extra $25 a week times 4. That's an extra $100 a month. Okay? So now you got me at $200, which is $800 a month. $200 a week times, you do the math. That's $800 a month. So that's a lot of money. So after I pay overhead and all that, after I pay the chair and, you know, and you put in all the other expenses, because you got to buy all your own sprays and everything, you gotta pay for all that because they're not, you're your own entity right there, right? So they're not supplying you with nothing. So it's basically you running your own business within the business. So when you're paying a chair, you got to understand that like that chair is your actual business. So you got to treat it like your actual business. All the sprays, everything that you need, and blah blah blah. You got to pay for that too. So I'm like, dude, okay, cool, because they think like this. Well, he already got his momentum. He don't want to mess up his flow. So if I gradually raise the prices on his rent, he gonna accept it because he already got his motion and he don't want to cut out and have to start over again. Little do you know, I don't have a problem with that because the clients are gonna follow me. As long as I'm still in the neighborhood, they're gonna follow me. You're gonna take a hit, but they're gonna follow. But at least, with some barbers, when you establish a good clientele, they only want you to cut their hair, and they will follow you wherever you go, even if it's another borough, because they don't want nobody else touching their hair. I've had clients that go to weddings with afros because it wasn't available. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So that's the type of clientele that you want. You don't want the clientele, like I was saying in the first video, that just come in for the low price and all that stuff. You want some loyal clientele that really appreciates your work and your craft. And you as a barber also have to be like punctual, reliable, and stuff. Like I had to learn a lot also myself. I'm not just going in on barbershop owners and stuff like that, because I had to learn how to look at it from their aspect also, because they have a lot of overhead and stuff like that. But when someone's just being greedy, right? So I'm like, yo, dude, okay, I'll give you the 2 a week. That's 800 a month. Said, not going no more higher than that. So I kept rocking and rolling. A few months later, he tried to raise me to 225. I said, well, I'm going to have to boogie. He won't call my bluff. Say, hey, I'm gonna have to get up out of here. So I didn't tell him that exactly in my mind. I said, all right, I see what's going on. So that's almost like that's like almost working a 9-to-5 job, but there's no room for advancement, right? So it means you can't grow. It's basically the same method. It's basically the same thing, because every time you accumulate more, they want more. So you're just working harder, but the money not going in your pocket, is going in their pockets. And they pocket watching closely and watching your value. So it leaves you stagnated. So I said, okay, I'm going to look for a better situation. And when I negotiate my next situation, we're going to have to come to like an agreement, Like, look, you can't be raising up my damn rent anytime you feel like it. Anytime you feel like you need more money, you start looking at the barbers and say, like, I want more money, so I'm just going to get it out the barbers. If you want more money, then start selling some products, do something, raise your prices or do something. Don't look at the barbers as like slaves, like I'm going to crack the whip on his back. But the game to it is, they say, oh, they'll make you think like, yo, there's only one haircut. So you're looking at like, yo, like what's one haircut? I do like, it's one haircut. But no, that's not how it is. Because if one haircut is $25, that's an extra $100 a month. So I found me another situation. I negotiated some deal, and I, from off the experience dealing with previous shops and stuff, I let them know my experience and that I'm not like, like I know the game. I let them know, and I'm like, you got to really set this in stone. It's basically like a contract, but it's verbal. So I ended up sliding out of there, right? But the crazy part about this guy, right, is that when I told him, I said, nah, I'm out. I got a new situation. I'm out of here, right? You know what the guy told me? You'll be back. Don't worry. They always come back. I said, this motherfucker. And I cut out. And I went down to another situation. And that's a whole nother story time. But that's another way, like how you got to be aware of. That's how they will get you when you're renting a chair. They'll keep digging in your pockets by raising the rent. And then there could be other barbers in the shop to where their rent may be lower than yours just because they don't have the value. But that's how they'll get you too. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to monitor your money and they're going to keep raising your pocket. So every time you're trying to come up and grow and put more money in your pocket for you, they're taking it from you. So basically, you're just working harder, doing more cuts, but you're not coming up because you're not seeing the money digging in your pockets. You know, so if you're paying 150 a week, that's what, three, that's six, that's 600. You're like, all right, I can swing that. You start being able to pay that 600 a month and still make, 600. That's not a lot of money. When you break it all down, it's like basically like minimum wage at that time. You know what I'm saying? $600 a week. Like, then you deduct sprays and necessities and stuff like that. It's not a lot of money. So you're looking to get yourself up to where you could at least profit $800 to $1,000. You know what I mean? Well, not a month, but you want to make, like $600 a week. That's like minimum wage. You know, you want to get yourself up to like 800 a week. You know what I'm saying? Because we barbers. This is craft. This is entrepreneur shit. Like, so you're supposed to be making good money, man. If you're good, especially if you got the clientele and you work for that, like you're supposed to see your money, man. But they'll do it like that. And they will definitely play that card on you. That like he got motion already, been for a year, he got motion. He ain't gonna make a move because it's gonna disrupt his flow. Nah, 60% of the clients gonna follow me. You're gonna take a hit, but 60% of the clients gonna follow you if you like that, if you have that type of clientele. So the situation ain't right and you're being taken advantage of, I say go. Because it's the same thing as working a 9 to 5 and ain't no room for advancement. Imagine you being paid $15 an hour and you get a 25-cent raise or 50-cent raise every year. How many years you gonna have to work there in order to make $20? It ain't designed for that, So some barbershops, they don't value you. It's a revolving door. But they be so greedy, they end up taking the hit. Because if you got a quality barber that's bringing in money, don't be greedy. Long-term money is better than just being greedy, and it's steady. So now you take the hit. Yeah. But I got more for y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Get your subscribers up. Hit the notification bell, right? Oh, another thing. Leave anything in the comment section that y'all want to ask me. I'll do like some Q&As, question and answers, stuff like that. And or whatever you want to ask, tap in. Yeah. So, signing out. Peace.